I think that Richard's got the devs probably going pretty crazy, and I think he's playing the smart game where he's not going to leave himself corporately exposed. And I don't mean that from a legality standpoint. I mean from he's not going to allow there to be bad code put out. And in his defense, if you blame him for that, you just can't do that. All right. I don't always see eye to eye with him. I've barely even spoken to his number one. For me, I think everybody thinks that I own like this big wallet, and it's a corporate wallet. It's actually a law firm, but it's like, okay, so it sounds good in theory, right? So I'm like y'all, where I don't have just one position. We've got 5 positions. You guys just know of 2 of them. So, and we're just keeping our mouth shut. Where I'm needed, I believe, is this. And the problem is Richard's in Superman mode. So he's just not the kind of guy to reach out and say it. Now, he'll tell the community to go do various things or go do various tasks or to build various programs. And I could go one step further and say I could see that even being a smart move on his part legally for the degree of separation, right? If you think about that in theory crafting. So for me, it's like, I don't care how much money people think that I will or could possibly make. It is patently absurd to think that you're going to extract that money from that network. You want to take that much kinetic energy out of the Pulsechain and Pulsex network, right? Okay, check this out. Like, making $1 billion I understand that's a big deal to a lot of people, but in the grand scheme of things, not really. I'm not all that impressed, but I get it. But in big deals, that's not really a big deal. And that's going to be critical. And because Richard's in this mode where he's building all this crap himself, and I don't mean crap as in it's garbage, it's not, it's state of the art, but he's doing it himself.
Yeah.
And it's almost like you wish that he's in a marketing mode. I get it. Okay. But it's almost like you wish he would text you, say, I need this done, do this. And it's like, finally, but that's not where he's at. I understand the theory that you're talking about. Is he timing the market to get to the bottom? Is he thinking that dimensionally? I don't think he is, but is he aware of it? Of course he is. But do I think that he's actually adjusting the code base? If I take him at his word and that's what he said he was doing, then I'm going to believe him at his word. So he's actually changing the code. Now, if he's also doing it in tandem with timing the market, good on him. Frickin' baller. Roll with it. I view Richard like this. He's like a president and I'm the annoying general, right? So It was like whenever I got pissed with him and everybody conflated it as a threat, I'm sitting there putting my hand on my face going, you people are just, it's like there comes a point to where the network's got to launch, but even I had to slow down and say, look, he's not going to do something self-destructive. So I had to course correct and just take it in the face because I brought that on myself. So, and I recognize that, and that's fine. It's called live and learn. The question is, did everybody else learn from it at the same time? Hopefully they did. Hey, Rack's one of the biggest guys in the ecosystems, but he's not above correction. You feel me? If I'm not putting a tremendous amount of money back into the ecosystem, what have I done? Essentially, what? I multiplied money. Yeah. If there's no expectation of return or gain, and that's fine. Tokenization happens and you're going, hey, cool, I'm out. You're a fool. Okay, you're a fool. I was there for the Bitcoin just like he was. I was there, right? And I was fortunate that I didn't progressively get into Ethereum the way that Richard probably did. I accidentally got into it. So let's make sure we give proper credit where it's due. It's not something I did. It was an accident. It was a fluke. And then we had a couple projects that we actually shut one down. We reimbursed everybody out of another project. So it's, if a project, because of compliance issues or the SEC said you are not authorized to do that, even though at the time they kind of gave us a pseudo nod because of all of our opinion letters from our legal counsel, our corporate counsel, and compliance, and then they go, nope. And it's like, we've already committed to this. We've already got money in this. We've already raised capital. It's crazy. So it was, we had one of the fastest currency crypto conversions available at the time. We built the tech. And so we were able to convert Bitcoin and Ethereum literally on the fly, just literally on the fly with our own pools and everything. And it was pretty cool. but the bank Chase just went completely south on us and turned hostile. It was crazy. I mean, it was like hard. The hard part was listening to because I can show you some of the screenshots. I kept them, and one of them I kept because I turned it over to a guy named Audion Paxton, who's a U.S. Marshal, and he's going to handle business for somebody that's I don't like now. So but aside from that, was a lot of my Saudi friends that we were truly bringing into the fold. They were genuinely excited. Then they ran across some of the memes and they were like, what is the meaning of this? And it's like, holy frick. We have our exchange that we're finishing up right now, and because that's going to tie the legacy markets to the crypto markets. It should enable us to convert stuff on the fly. It's going to be pretty lit. And another thing is I would like to do it in a way to where I don't want to do a capital raise up for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't want to sell a token. I want to have a token internally for the reasons that I do, but I don't want to sell the token. Here's the deal, but I'm not going to let you know. Because the way that I want to do it is I don't want to market to Richard's community. I do not want to do that. I don't need to do that. I can spend the money to market it myself. But I also don't want to charge people to buy a token. I'd rather just say, hey, if you have knowledge of it, just go sign up and I'm going to treat everybody equally and I'm not going to charge you a dime. So, and if that's what that program looks like, then I will deal with it at that time. But to pull kinetic energy out of Richard's network, or the Pulsechain or the Pulsex, I have no interest in doing that. Zero. As a matter of fact, I will not even tweet about it to that community. I'm just not going to do that. It's my streaming gear is pretty much all set up. You know, I was very fortunate that the Highest Stakes crew actually came to one of my locations and set up. I must have bought almost 17, 18 grand worth of streaming gear, and it looks absolutely stunning. I'm trying to get 2 more cameras so that I can flip a switch and it'll change the angle, and we're doing all that. So that's kind of where we're at with it. And but for me right now, yeah, I want to start developing stuff on the network. I'm too big of a position not to do it. People are going to protect what they're vested in, and I get it. I do. I promise I get it. And I'm also very protective, but I have to reel myself in, because when I go out on the general Twitter and I see people defamating, dereclamating, Hex, stuff like that, it grates my nerves too, man. I want to say something, but it's like I'm honestly, and I think everybody in this room would probably agree, is that I don't think that scam narrative works anymore. I don't think it works anymore. I think that when I hear that word, I think people's eyes glaze over and they literally look at the person and say, come up with something more original. That's just stupid.